Okay, so last time I had just gotten this stuff set up. I think I was saying normally I like to just start off with the arena bits. Gets that out of the way early. Not to mention there's a few of them that become unavailable till later, if you end up getting rid of them in the story. I think it was also kind of occurring to me earlier that theoretically I could probably just end up doing this with a like a Parry blade and howitzer or something. Be a little more true to form, but honestly I did that before with the blade and flamethrower, and it was arduous. I mean, it was interesting, but mostly it was just waiting for everything to overheat. And actually most of the AI can be surprisingly broken. Just because there's one particular corner, for some reason if you stand in it, they'll just wait there and you can just stab them over and over. It's pretty ridiculous. Not much to say about these earlier ones. I basically just move around kind of randomly. Just don't really do much. You can really just stand here. Actually, when I was doing the manual only with the rockets and everything, these ones are actually the most annoying for that. Since they're basically just moving at random, you really don't know where to be shooting, and later on they're a lot easier. Just because they're all trying to go around you, trying to go around to the back and all of that. I think the reservoir is my favorite of the areas. I don't know why they removed that in 7 line. For that matter, why they didn't have anything like this in later games either. I mean, I'm assuming it's just because it's kind of data intensive, presumably, because it's a larger area, but there's not a whole lot here. It's all gray walls and gray water. And it should be obvious at this point, shotguns are kind of sucky in this. Well, the spray is pretty random on them, and well, at best they're still pretty terrible even if everything hits. Surprisingly, they don't even overheat much. Not this one, anyway. After this, there should be a couple of pretty easy upgrades to be putting together. Actually, there's one upgrade that I missed that I probably won't be getting because I should have done this before swapping over to the challenge properly. There's one for, well, it used to be 100%, and then the portable version, they changed it to, it was 90%, and then you need to, I think it's like break something every 4 seconds or so for the target practice. I think it's kind of cool that they have the folding legs on the hover legs, even going back here this early. Seems like most of the stuff they put in by Last Raven they already had planned in these early stages. Actually, it's kind of a shame. 3 was supposed to be a hell of a lot bigger than it was. Let me see. 15.5. Yeah, should be good. I mean, it's slightly lighter. They're just better overall. It's really more than enough to sort out everything pretty early on.
A group of employees.
Combat system engaged.
This one's cool music.
Stick to the plan. Those MTs are no match for an AC.
They sent in a raven.
The guy was trying to throw away the shotgun there. Just to not have it there, but frankly I'm getting a little bit confused here. I'm using this controller. These are the PSP controls, and on this one I'm just automatically defaulting the PS2 one. Oh, that's enough.
That's all of them. Let's head out.
Mission complete. Combat systems disengaged.
It's probably going to be a while till I get used to this controller. Which one the repository for? It's completely not even where I wanted to go.
Combat system engaged.
Raven, destroy all forces occupying the facility. Avoid damaging any of the mine equipment.
Which is impossible, they end up shooting it themselves anyway. Turn faster. No. And they just get vaporized. Just come back to that guy later. We'll say this is far from practical so far, but oh well, it doesn't really matter yet. If there's any challenge with the lock-on, it tends to get harder the farther you go on, and then if there's any without one, it just tends to get easier and easier as you go on. Especially the rocket one. And other than maybe, other than a couple of parts in that, it's just the early parts were the worst. Again, just because of the randomness. Okay, fine. It's just gonna be wonky, I guess. Never.
Destruction of all enemy targets confirmed. Great work, Raven.
Mission complete. Combat system engaged.
I just gotta write a commentary whenever there's music going on. It's too good. This one's actually kind of funny, because I think they were planning to do more with Gaida's guy. Because you can actually kill him off in this,
There are more than we
and
expected.
he promises to get back at you for it, and you just never see him again. I think you can get him to help you in the one with the subway. One of the ones with the subways. But honestly, he's not the best there anyway, so why bother? Yeah, next time there's enough money to do so, definitely upgrading to be able to move a little faster. I can't overstate how just how completely good this music is for long drives.
Looks like you could use a hand.
AC
What gave you that idea?
identified.
So it can get more money for, well, for not stabbing him in the back, but I don't know. I think it's kind of scummy that he just comes in and just tries to take all your money. And he never actually turns hostile either. I'm guessing they just kind of assumed that by this point nobody was really expecting all the other guys to turn hostile on them yet. There we go. Actually, at the moment, I'm kind of curious if that actually gives you the money for the stuff that he killed. That should just set it to 0. Now, one thing I have run into more problems with the portable version than the original is, like you saw, they're kind of crashing into things in the middle of trying to blade them. Now, I could be imagining it, but I'm about 99% certain that did not happen nearly as much in the original. Don't be awkward, come on. Yeah. As you can imagine, the blade run was a bit awkward with those guys. Which is one of the reasons that I had in the list earlier that I allowed EOs for those, because there's some just awkward stuff.
Mission complete. Combat system engaged.
Nope, I guess you don't get the money for his. Okay, goodbye efficient booster and hello fast one. Let's get this guy. Can I get a... There we go. Can I get this guy too? No particular reason I cut it off there. But, moving on. is a very relaxed factory for some reason. I remember somebody was telling me that there's something along the lines of just how different arms react as far as the range for the blade tracking, but I know it affects, they actually have it noted in LR, but I don't know, I think it just seems to be a tad situational, one way or another. And apparently I have Steam stuff popping up on this. I'll have to turn that off. I'm not actually... Well, yeah, I kind of have them all coming out at the same time on Steam. So this is probably the first guy that maybe has a potential to be semi-difficult sometimes, depending on the situation. And if you're a little bit slower, for sure. This is the first missile spammer guy. If somebody's new, they don't know how to avoid him, then he can be a pain. But mostly it's his core that's a problem. It's kind of the first semi-reasonable damage output thing that anybody has. Charge him, he's slightly on the bulkier side. Would be more of a problem if anybody used lasers at this point. So the laser bits they would be using, I think. Yeah, maybe it's never early to use them, I don't know. So I always kind of assume the series ran on Fallout logic. You get lasers later. But yeah, the blade won't do a whole lot against this guy. This has a pancake head. Looks pretty cool. I have no idea how long this thing's gone now. I think it's been like 20 minutes. Okay, still have a limit on how much I can put up. I don't even know if there is a limit anymore. Should probably check. Also, I think he's the priciest Stacy so far. For an extension, the ammo extension thing costs a lot. This is the first of the arena AIs that, if you let him, will easily just kill himself. With that. Like it said in the description, he just goes fast all the time. And overheats himself. And then melts. That's just his deal. He actually does have a tendency that if he manages to get both the rifle and howitzer, though, I can easily do a lot of overheating, but he just shoots at random, so it's unlikely unless you're slow. Or happen to be cutting him like that. Not a big deal, though, since he spends the entire time melting. Notice I'm forgetting to turn on the HUD elements. And apparently somebody's mowing their lawn outside. Not sure if that problem is carrying over. Still hoping at some point that they go back to this particular format. Armored Core games, I mean. The latest one was getting closer, but it still... It seemed like a lot of that mentality went towards the Soul series. Like where everything kind of has a particular purpose. Like honestly, I think VD... made me think a lot of what happened with the second Dark Souls there. They just had too many redundant items. It's like, yeah, they still had a purpose. It wasn't as bad. Like, with a bunch of items being literally the same thing, but they weren't as defined. Especially when it came to rifles. I don't think the shotguns had much use at all. Though some people have told me otherwise. Just didn't feel satisfying. So yeah, this guy's just bulky and fast. That's about it. And here's the D-bag from before. He's terrible. You know what? Lorraine is fitting. They tried to make him a likable character somewhat. He's kind of around, he's supposed to be doing things. He just sucks, really. The only thing that he has that can actually, you know, be a threat is that shotgun arm thing. He ends up wasting them on the quad shots, usually going towards the walls. And, yeah. Pretty much that. And then he has some missiles left, and there's a fair few of those. The ones that I sold earlier. But, still. He's a lightweight that can't aim. And I think to speed this up, I'm going to switch over to the better shotgun after this. I mean, I think this one's more practical, but the other one is far more damaging. Well, that took off about 1,000 off him. Something like that. Plus for the additional shots that this one gets, it's still fewer pellets spread along a longer distance. So, yeah, definitely less damaging. And these are the last two that are left for now. Actually, I think it's 56 for that shotty. Nope, 64. Okay. Even worse. Yeah, honestly, that one still feels the worst. As it goes the farthest, you can't really move fast while using it. Alright, guess I'm sticking to this. Grab a blade. Myself for 29. Yeah, there we go. So this one's almost a complete upgrade. It's slightly shorter, but faster. Gonna go for this one so I can get the head part and then...
A Raven.
Combat system engaged.
And sell that head.
There isn't much room to maneuver. Watch your footing.
Okay. So it's located over here. Should be just enough. And I completely overshot that. Well, that's embarrassing.
Leaving area of condition.
That sucks. But, let's see, can probably... I'll just sell some things to be lighter. See if I can get some lighter arms. It's the main bit of the bulk going on. Oh, that's not great. Just sell this thing for now then. Got the wings and floaty arms. Actually, in fact, just to not run into that issue again, let me go back to the efficient one. Speed should be about the same with everything anyway.
Raven.
Combat system engaged.
There isn't much room to maneuver. Watch your footing.
Man, this thing can't even kill these guys. Okay, that's much better. Not messing up the jump helps too. So here's the pancake head.
Acquired.
It's a cool design, and I'm pretty sure it lowers your profile a little bit so you don't get hit in the head as often. But it also sells for a lot, and that's even better. I do like that these things hum like that when you're close by. I Actually, I never play with headphones, so I didn't even notice that before. A lot of little details for this guy. Okay. Didn't quite do it right that time, but if you just float above the abyss, it'll actually just trigger the end of it when you're done, and you'll just fall off the bridge. I don't know why they had such a high bridge. Okay, 28 isn't that much, but it's enough. Okay. The main reason for that, this guy takes forever. He's extremely bulky and kind of annoying. So yeah, another thing, again, I'm pretty sure anyone that's played this will have noticed this, but all the FCSs work a little differently. So this one, for example, doesn't change color when it's locked on. It's a little bit annoying waiting for that thing to fill up. So most of the time I've been missing more shots than I would like. It's kind of difficult to see while moving. I forgot to turn on the HUD elements again. What am I doing? And despite being bulky, he's not the slowest guy either. But within a few fights here should be upgrading the turning speed, so that shouldn't be as much of a problem. Actually, when I was trying to do the base build run, that was the biggest annoyance, because the turning speed was impossible to keep up with in a lot of cases. So that one was just a lot of waiting for everything to run out of ammunition, and then cutting them for the most part. Guy's easy against guns, sucks against everything else. It's like right now, because of his annoying movement, he's just stopping and the blade's missing. Just have to wait for that, and it still doesn't really do much. And he finally overheats. That's kind of the main benefit of switching over to this one. And it has a lot more heat output. At least if I remember right. There we go. Now I'm remembering the buttons again. Well, didn't forget them. It's the controller is shaped completely differently, and well, I'm pretty sure you can see where that assumption's going. So this is the first one that actually has some sort of damage output, though only about 6 times. And if you have a decoy, then it doesn't even matter. But I don't, so it doesn't matter. The missile decoys, I mean. Pretty lightweight, has that throwable blade on him. The pulse rifle is not bad, but also not very accurate, so it's fine. No, wait, no, he's not the throwable one, he has the shield. Oh, I'm getting that completely wrong. Yeah, it's their brother or sister, or whoever that is the throwable one. The other twin head. Right there is the only reason that I like this head so much. It's cheap and it tells you when you're about to die from going out of bounds. See, at the very least, it's just getting close for another shotgunning. Oh, I can actually go on to the next ones. This guy... No, let me turn on the HUD elements first. There we go. All this guy does is jump up and down. I think they must have reused his AI when they were doing that. There's one particular guy. It's very, very similar in Last Raven. Same thing, all he does is jump up and down the entire time. Except slightly less annoying in this case. His only purpose is to waste your ammo. And after this, should be getting a part which I can sell for a better FCS. This is an okay color scheme though. Love that masterfully. Actually, just cut this guy right out of the air, which is what I should be trying to do. He's harmless enough that it's not even necessary. Why he's just torpedoing into the ground like that. And this whole thing is supposed to like staying in the air. So he's probably thinking he's in the Sonic game or something. Huh. Well, that works. So yeah, for every rank up, get parts. And you proceed to sell those parts. And I'm actually selling the old one. It's just a flat improvement. Let's go with this guy. 72, so I should be able to afford it. So now that should allow for going up to here, but I'm going to stop at this guy. And actually doing a run as him was pretty interesting. So he has a bizarrely stupid setup. His only actual output of any kind is, frankly, of mines. You have to kind of weirdly manually aim mines straight into somebody's face. So yeah, now this one has a circle lock. It actually tells me when it's locked on. Much better. And has a wider capture. Not even gonna bother blading him because, well, right there. It's fine. Most of the tanks in this actually just fidget back and forth, fair deal. So you just kind of run into them with the blading and that's it. Not to mention if you actually do that and they get the stab off, it hits a lot harder for them. Seems like most of the time it almost hits twice. They just do a lunge instead of a cut. There's Fixer. He sends a bunch of emails saying how great he is. Supposedly your rival guy. Or something like that. His torpedoes are a pain. He actually I've never seen him use a sword. So it's mostly just there to scare people. It's just a giant weight on his arm, and it'd be a lot more intimidating without it, oddly enough. It's actually the first guy that's very easy to deal with on a manual fire run. This is the first one that actually starts doing this circle strafing tactic. And that's usually when you can hit him. Like I said, got close several times, he never ever uses his blade at all. this guy. He's also going to get killed off in the story pretty soon. But I'm pretty sure Doro dies first. Now granted, it doesn't really matter, you get them back later anyway, but it just bugs me when they're out of order. You have to find them in the list. This guy's another one that came back in later games in a much worse way. Especially in Last Raven. I don't know. Considering LR had a lot of the ideas that were supposed to go into this before it actually ended up going, I really don't like that one. It had cool ideas, but it seemed like the designs were kind of done drunkenly one day. It's okay, let's make everyone cheat at all times. Of course, then they started doing that for this whole series, and that just got weird. Okay, a few more. Let's get some different maps going. I can do this one here, just because it inconveniences them, but I don't like this map. I mean, it allegedly should help, but it's very, very, very packed in here. So I'm not sure where all these lines are coming from. This is an emulation issue. You know what? Actually, that's fitting. The napalm rockets. Yeah, I think those should be okay for this run. Just thematically, it works. I'm gonna go add some on. Nice thing is, you can add stuff to a challenge and it just, frankly, balances itself out by a weight. Like I said, that's why I like doing challenge runs on these two. Basically do just about any kind of challenge with anything that's available. It just sort of balances itself. Okay, let's stick a yellow boat in the water. Another one that... actually, she has a moonlight. She doesn't actually use it. No, she does use it sometimes if you're really, really close and just stand right in front of her, I think. Okay, first of all, the build is overweight, so she can't even walk properly. And she just spends half the time kneeling. Let me see if she actually uses the blade or not. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, she used it. So yeah, this one I just like because her build is legitimately actually overweight. Like, they aren't no extra cheats or Human Plus or anything there, or OPI in this case, but they're just overweight. And they deal with the overweightness, and so they have no energy most of the time. And they're slow. And you do your laser. So another one, not particularly intimidating, but they've got okay stuff. It's usually about the, about getting to the C's where things are... Actually, I guess D's, kind of. Where things get a little bit different. So this is the first effective hit and run guy, I would say. He doesn't seem to overheat himself much, though I've seen it happen a couple times. But that's basically what he does. Throws missiles in the air, goes with the howitzer and the shotgun. It's actually pretty good. Actually, come to think that would probably be an interesting build for another run. Like many of these, they may not even be challenging exactly. It's just interesting to see what would happen. Like there was one I did of the intro ACs, for example. See, that right there is the benefit of the laser shotgun. It's the fastest by far. Anyway, so I was doing as the intro ACs and the lightweight red one at the beginning. I just called it the Crimson Corpy. I don't know what its actual name is, but anyway. The thing is also overweight and kinda terrible. I mean, mostly it was a lot of the starter blade there and the laser that it has. Not challenging, but interesting. I know I'm just blinking in here, but he's almost done. And honestly, this guy, I'm assuming they planned to originally have more story for him. Because it just seems like there was more to it, how they introduced him and everything. As you'll see later, they just basically drop him down an elevator and that's it. And you're supposed to know who this guy is. And frankly, he is just awful in every way. So, yeah, the machine gun, worst in the game. Basically has, I think, the second least amount of ammo to it. It may as well just be an air conditioner. It doesn't really do anything damage-wise, or heat-wise for that matter. It has the small rockets, which kind of keep getting castrated as the sequels go on, but even in this case aren't very good. Those mines, though, they threw right there, he just throws them at random. Oh, and he's out of energy. Good job. But honestly, that is the only hope of doing any damage with him. Like, with his setup. Because, granted, as mines, like here, I'll just go run them over. Yeah, they're not there anymore. They only last a few seconds. Great mines. They're pretty terrible on their own. I mean, they maybe do 100 to 200 per pop, and you throw 5 of them. Like, you throw some more over here. Let's see if I can even get to them. Nope, didn't even pop. For some reason. Who knows? So as actual mines, they're terrible, but if you get right up in somebody's face and shoot them, you do about 1200 or so. Oh, there's some. Nope, couldn't even intentionally get hurt by these stupid things. Oh, there. Yeah, see, not even 100. For lightweight and did maybe like 60. So yeah, they're pretty hefty and cause a lot of overheat when they're used point blank, which I kind of discovered by a weird accident, but actually it was with the Cypress thing because I couldn't figure out how to get past him, and then just figured what if I just launched him 3 feet from his face, and it worked. And just basically completely wrecked him. So it can be kind of good, but it's definitely tricky. Other than that, his anti-missile things aren't very good. Shield's okay if you like using those things. With the one where it makes it not drain as much, it's a lot better. Anyway, got some more stuff. The portable version comes with a few extra parts that come in here. But got a new FCS. As I recall, that shouldn't be as good as the one that I already have. Actually, no, for my purposes, it's better. Interesting thing, by the way, that, now, what was I going to say here? I completely lost track. Oh yeah, they actually fixed a bug that was in the original when they re-released it. Which is when they have the comparisons here, they were basically just showing blue for higher, red for lower, even if that wasn't necessarily beneficial. It's just kind of a weird one. That showed... So how many slots did that take? Not enough spots. Okay, well, okay on energy defense anyway. I'll probably end up switching over to the, Is there more slots? I'll probably just end up switching over to that later. But, or the mid-weight EO core there. That's pretty good too. Honestly, I prefer the amount of slots to either of the extra functions. Don't really use them much. So yeah, this guy sucks. Like, as in he's legitimately difficult a lot of the time. So he puts down mines if you're close. And then does his friggin' missiles all the rest of the time. And they are the hefty variety. So most runs I'll usually lose at least once to this guy. Though to be fair, that was on a smaller screen. But with this setup, it's not particularly going poorly. Call shenanigans on him even being able to get those back flips, because there's no way he dodged them all. But, whatever. Yeah, I definitely prefer the arena to the missions in this. Oh, and frankly, most of the games. Although, weirdly enough, Ninebreaker was a gigantic disappointment. Although I think it's just because they didn't have any flavor text for them. So if they had, you know, some 700 arena battles and they actually had flavor text for each of them, I think it would have been a lot more fleshed out. But now it's just random builds. Could only be entertaining for so long. Not to mention by that point they switched away from this control scheme. Which may... I don't know. Maybe it's a bad thing, but I just prefer this control scheme. One where it's focused more on the right-hand weapon than something in your offhand rather than two guns. Seems like the two guns formula is what ended up causing it to get a little bit... well... Alright, it seemed a little bit too rifle-focused, so to speak. Kind of got rid of the main trade-off of those things a lot of the games. I don't know. Just didn't care for it after that point. And it's not like I didn't give them a try. I mean, completely 100%ed all the rest of them, but still. Well, I mean, other than VD, but frankly, finding people to play online with has gotten weird over the last few years. Actually, I'm gonna do this guy too, because he also potentially might get killed off. So, it's actually an interesting build. Not necessarily overweight, but just really, really low on energy. Actually functions a lot better dropping one of his cannons. Actually a surprisingly good build, dropping one of his cannons. In fact, you can... Actually, the run with him was typically dropping one of them, firing about 5 to 10 times, which would usually be enough to either, you know, get rid of half the AP of something or just completely overheat it. And, well, that was it. Then just finish off the rifle. Like, yeah, I think this is the same FCS that I usually use. It's locking on slightly outside of the box. It's another thing that bugged me about the newer ones. Like, they stopped adding some of the details like that. Like with the FCS is functioning a little differently with each one. You know, having little program changes and whatnot. It was nice. This little guy right here, this sucks for heavyweight builds and or midweight. Actually, come to think of it, I think midweights would function worst against this guy, mostly because of that. It's like if basically just if they're not able to dodge at least a few of them. Because he's pretty accurate and does a lot of hopping around. And I think it's the only time when those extensions there are used to any effect. So luckily he is pretty much made of paper, so it's fine. Yeah, Clays won't get killed off for a while. Okay, got arm parts, and then thing from Royal Mist, where they tell you the arena's gonna have you assassinated, and that never happens. Kinda would have figured they would have done more with that. Oh well. A lot less energy drain on these, a lot better cooling. Those are ones from AC2 originally, if I'm not mistaken. Now, normally I go without any extensions. Let's see if I can upgrade any. No, I have the blade I want to go with, or the shotgun I want to go with. Yeah, napalms. Switch over to a better booster, and then if there's next time there's 88k, I'm gonna end up switching over the cores. Radiator doesn't make sense to upgrade for a while. It's kind of a cheap upgrade, but actually no, I'll upgrade to that one. It isn't a huge problem in this. Like, completely not a huge problem. I mean, I almost never actually upgrade the radiator.
Combat system engaged.
There are 4 generators spaced throughout the factory. Get moving.
Ironically, being faster makes it more difficult to blade things.
Target disabled. There are 3 left.
One thing I did like about the newer control scheme when it came out is the ability to fire off inside shots anytime. But I still never got used to it. Just too many buttons, really.
Target disabled. 2 more to go.
Stop trying to use the triggers to change the camera count. I always thought it was a little bit strange that you're required to kill off these things. And they're already in the facility, it seems like they could just, fix them. Nope, not too many of them. So all is well and good.
Target disabled. You have 1 left.
Gotta love how those shots went everywhere but where I was trying to shoot.
Objective achieved. Good work.
There you go. Still not enough. And the reason I'm waiting to actually buy the core outright, and this will allow to do it, you have to go through and swap out every single core that you use, and it takes a lot of time, and I just can't be bothered.
Assistance. Hurry up and find them.
Move it! We need help now!
And here's the extension.
AC part acquired.
Really don't like those particular
Survey
extensions.
team identified. Make sure they get to the escape point.
I'm sure they have a practical purpose, just seems like there's better things to use. And here they just come out of each of the doors.
Enemy reinforcements are closing in.
Yeah, good job reinforcing. And then there's ones that come up over there. These are far more likely to kill him now. These guys only get a few shots before they round the corner. And these other ones are just there, usually punking them until they're gone.
Thanks for the help.
Mission complete. Combat system engaged.
think 3 and SL were probably more enjoyable for the lack of, well, for more lack of a better term, sewer levels and such. It seems like they could have done a lot more heinous things with the sewers there. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. Pretty much never use OB. And that is a lot of slots. One more arena thing just to round it out. And toasting from the get-go. So yeah, those things only serve as a lot of heat. They don't actually do damage themselves. So I'm just counting them as Molotovs, basically. And since it's not really part of the challenge, not going to be using the Neo at all. Just there. The big glowing button doesn't exist. It's weird with how it pretty much doesn't do anything close range. Far away it'll easily do up to 1500, but close up it'll do maybe 3. Actually, I think I like this version better than the one they added in VD. Because in that one, it was just a spread of 5 shots. Whereas in this one, they had it as kind of it flies out as a ball and then explodes in 5 directions. So yeah, these rockets are always changing the shoulder, so they'll fly wherever the shoulder is facing, not necessarily in front. Oh well, close enough. Oh, wait, crap, wrong button, that didn't happen. Ooh, toasty rockets. So yeah, this guy just stays away the whole time, he just runs backwards. It's really annoying when he shows up in the mission with that. Because you got another guy half injured and he's a full and he just runs away shooting the entire time. This annoyingly good machine gun. There we go. And there he goes. So as always, the problem with any close range setup whatsoever, There's always that one D-bag that runs away the entire time. Is he gonna come over? Yes, he is. Keep firing off to the side because I'm expecting him to go there, and no such luck. It looks a little bit like I'm firing randomly. I'm just kind of making general assumptions on where he is. Usually I've had better luck with those rockets with that assumption, because they circle around from the back and then go straight towards you, so you can usually nail them at that point. Demonstrate that if I can at some point. There he is on fire. But yeah, this is the level where you can actually trap the AI pretty badly. Actually should be able to demo that, maybe not on that guy, but on one of them. And here's another one for an extra part.
Raven,
Combat system engaged.
I've got a Raven on my tail. Help!
I'm just gonna get him a couple of times here. Get rid of that. One faster. That part's over here. It's the one with a horn on it. And shoot him, and then the other one should be popping up right here.
It worked. They took the bait.
that last one was a decoy. The real target
Is unfairly up ahead. It seems kind of bullcrap that you can't follow him past about 5 feet from there.
Complete. Combat system disengaged.
But it is what it is. Simple enough, anyway. Like 9 times out of 10, somebody wouldn't be doing a challenge run and trying to hit the guy with rockets. Not that that happened. Yeah, so there's the closure of the sector. I believe this is where Doral gets axed. So yeah, this is one of those new parts, like I said, with a horn on it. I think this one was from Phantasma. Either way, it's okay, I guess. I don't like it. Yeah, let's go with this one. Actually, you know what? Nope, well, I already accepted it, so much for that.
Footholds are limited.
Combat system engaged.
Really nice music on this level, too.
AC part acquired.
So basically on this one, you just walk through all of these areas and push buttons.
Gate 6 opened.
Tell me where Gate 6 is? No? Okay then. Come on. You lock on. So yeah, this one, it doesn't actually have a button in it. So from here, you basically go out and you go from place to place. You go over here. I think they only put one dead end.
Gate 5 opened.
And those helicopters, you can shoot them down, but they'll respawn infinitely. And apparently this is one of those random groups out of Die Hard or something that just had billions of dollars behind their thing to steal billions of dollars. Whatever it is that they're stealing the water supply for.
The water block.
Yep. And it unlocks the, there was previously water over here, which you would basically sink if you fall into. And you can safely cross down here, and stand on top of the thing, which fixes it. So yeah, if for whatever reason your particular challenge run involved you needing even more money by this point, get another more or less 80k from those. So by this point, this early on, there's really no reason to be lacking of any funds to make any build happen. Let's see. Yep. I'm gonna say I like the one that I have the best. The green one. Like this one here, it's faster. It's the, I think it's the second best really until you get the fleets later. But only slightly faster, and for how much more drain it has, it's not great. The generator's fine for now. Again, like I said, radiator. Actually, this one weighs less. I'll just get that. Slots to fill out, so... Actually, no, wait. 8 slots. It's probably lock-on time. I'm gonna get pulses, but I also want to get this. I think I'll get those. Normally I like the lock-on pulse one, but this build's fast enough to not really need it. As far as these go, this is just... These two are just flat defense. This one is more or less your poise. If anyone's played Souls, this obviously just makes the generator larger, just gives you a larger amount. Doesn't really make it go any faster, just a larger pool. Very, very slight increase in lock-on speed. It's a lot better with missiles. This just makes the box larger, I think by like 30% or something. And then this just makes you turn faster. I don't think it gives you numbers anywhere, until later games, but anyway. Let's see, I can still destroy the bridge here, which I'll do.
Cardiac system engaged.
Raven, there isn't much time. Hurry up and set the charges.
These ones would take 2 shotgun blasts. So, to deal with this one, if you want the howitzer, is pretty much just to start putting these down until a train shows up. And then just shoot at the cracks until it goes away. Unfortunately, the train is kind of a sturdy bastard, and so yeah. So 5 shotgun blasts, for example. Where's that 6?
Left.
So yeah, I think the first one's actually the sturdiest, but you just need to take out 2.
You have 2 left.
Like, I don't know if there's just some invisible wall blocking shots to that first one,
1
but
more to go.
anyway.
All demolition charges planted.
So yeah, you can usually do that with a minute left over and enough time to get out through here.
Mission complete. Callback system disengaged.
That's where it tells you got the howitzer. And you can get it. And yeah, it spreads out and explodes. It's a good thing. This is the one, this is one of the things I used for trying that run with a Parry blade before. Problem is, if you have something in your right hand, it locks on with it. Otherwise, it just fires straight forward, and it's really hard to get to predict the arc on it. Oh yeah, so this is the one where Doral gets axed. This is what I mean. They kind of make a big deal of this one. This is one of the this is one of the continuing points for it.
AC located. Is crests.
And actually, the challenge run that I did of it was because I kind of wondered what would happen if he had somehow, by some bizarre miracle, won this fight.
I don't understand.
Quite honestly,
The sector looks untouched.
yeah, basically what they're saying is just the computer's acting up, stuff's gone dire, it's kicking people out of their homes for no reason. So yeah, their omnipotent robo-god got a virus or something.
Identified.
The usual reaction is, who? And then later on you go back a second time, it's like, oh yeah, that one guy that was a complete chump in the arena that you didn't pay attention to for under 5 seconds. And I guess, I don't know, I kind of wondered whether it was kind of an irony that they just made it, they just sort of take his place later. Because for all intents and purposes, all they're doing here is trying to take over this place and stage out of this place where the computer had kicked everyone out. And so they're squatting here with tanks. And I don't know if it's really squatting by that point, but I guess squatterites are weird over here. They've got some weird squatting laws. And even on hard, this is actually set up on hard right now. He still starts off at half health for some reason. I guess they just didn't have any place to fix him after he just hit his head on the way in here or something. Like I said, right now I'm not really even avoiding, and he can't do any damage. Look at this, this is just embarrassing.
Objective achieved. I keep wondering.
Did plot just happen?
What's going on here?
Well, I can't leave.
Mission complete. Callback system disengaged.
But yeah, so I was just doing another run once, and I just got curious what would have happened if that guy somehow won. Yeah, reason for closure, there was an earthquake, clearly. Anyway. So yeah, they're Union, they become the good guys later. This one I almost never do on challenges. Unless there are hover legs involved, because you kind of need them. This is one of the ones that I consider an acceptable death in it.
Combat system engaged.
Because usually on most challenges you won't have enough ammunition to deal with all these guys.
Keep away from the convoy.
There's just a crap ton.
Raven, they damaged the main gate. We can't use it. We'll evacuate from the south. Cover us.
Yeah, very calm music for this one. Kind of funny. Yeah, if you stay in between them, sometimes you can get them to hit each other. Saves a little bit of ammunition because there's a lot of them. Like I said, it seems slightly too many every time. Because of the feeling they were going for. But yeah, if you make it through without any of the stuff you're protecting getting blown up, which I guess I should show is over here, there's just a constant convoy for like 5 to 7 minutes. But usually you can keep the fight over on this end if you're fast about it. Such peaceful music. It's like something you'd expect on just a random Christmas level. Obviously having EOs for this part would be helpful, but we're not using them. Jump slashes aren't too effective on these guys. Just because they'll move to the side a little bit and they're just there looking like an idiot and they move slow enough. It's still funny, they had to remove a lot of details for the portable version. But it's funny that they managed to keep the sound design intact. You still hear all the hums and everything. Like they have the thing in the intro specifically set up where they blow out the windows driving past them, and that completely happens in the original. And then in this one they had to take it out. Which makes sense, there was too many particles. Okay. So this is going well. I don't think any were actually even lost. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, 2 more. Okay. Like I said, it always just seems slightly too many. And I think that's just because of the hard mode. Yeah, that should be the last guy over there.
The evacuation is complete. Thanks for your help.
Now in the original, if I recall, you only got this part if you actually had accomplished this. Like you had an optional second portion.
They want you to move to the central terminal.
So you basically had to save all of them.
It's up to you whether or not to accept. Head to the escape point if you want in.
And frankly, the first time I got really frustrated because it was already done and I knew where I was supposed to go. And I went over here.
Mission request accepted.
Well, frankly, I had no idea what I was doing because I was a little kid at the time. And I knew where I was supposed to go, I knew where the little thing would appear, and I go to this door and immediately fail it for going out of bounds because the trigger to actually move the boundary is a little bit later than you'd expect.
Raven, we have to locate the AC. He has the chipset.
So now there's some thingamajig that got stolen for some mysterious reason.
Find the AC.
And like he says, you can completely avoid all of that. Just go forward and around the corner here. He's gonna die in about 3 seconds. There we go. And now around the corner is that same machine gun guy from earlier. You know, because they're weak for not being able to withstand bullets, obviously.
Finally, a worthy opponent.
So despite being close quarters here, he's pretty awful. He just kind of skirts around aiming randomly. And usually gets a slice on his back like that. I mean, standing in front of him, sure, he'll do his usual stuff, but pretty pathetic overall. Yeah, and I still didn't get the radiator. Now you can get the icicle radiator from that if your corporate stuff is high enough. So this is the one where you can get the expanded ammo. You know what, I'm not going to end up getting that. Because usually, you know, I don't like to retry them in challenges. But I will be buying 2 of these. So these add 20% each. Now I need bigger legs. Reverse joints. Now these are the lightest, and they also have a slightly better burden on them. They're weak as crap, so this thing is kind of a paper chicken right now. But that won't be improving anytime soon.
A long-term campaign aimed at...
This one I'll be doing just because I want to see if... let's see if I'll be able to do this without lag. It shouldn't, because it's normally a PSP problem.
We've arrived at the combat area.
But that is some nice ripping in the background.
Combat system engaged.
Saragi has provided a supply.
I love how they have the music from the intro on this. He just phases out of existence. Actually, don't recall that happening in the PSP version, so I don't know why that happened. Oh well. But yeah, this guy still has not actually upgraded his setup since the beginning of the game. He does that by the next time he's hireable, though, I think. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually get him one time earlier, in which he's already gotten the new setup, and then he goes back. I think if you do some really weird order. I could be completely wrong on that.
Destruction of all enemy targets confirmed. Good work, Raven.
You know, with how low these are draining and how it's going, I think I might switch up to the Mare, actually. Because there's enough cooling on the rest of these parts, or actually enough excess energy on them for it not to be a problem. Let me do that, see how that works out. Because I will be needing the extra ammo on the packs later. Can't really afford to be that slow though. And this is before they implemented the whole heat nonsense that they started in Nexus. So yeah, this is the next kind of choke point as the missions go. And can do more arena in the meantime. So that is the single most powerful weapon in the freaking game, and he is a cheating bastard and shouldn't be able to use it. He's supposed to be kneeling. They can kind of see what I'm going for with these rocket shots here. Just as soon as they change directions, the idea is to get them to walk into it so they don't dodge it. So they usually don't even try to dodge rockets because I guess their AI can't detect them. Like I said, after being stuck on that rocket run for like a month, it seemed to be the most practical way to go about it. I mean, it's that high heat rifle, but it's worth it to take the shots. Not to mention this setup looks kind of cool with the jetpack look in the back there. Yeah, Barketta's one that on several runs I just like to run him out of ammo. Yeah, he is really accurate with those. If you can get him close, like this, you can usually just stay behind him, but he's usually just going to speed out of the way. So for a tank, he's not exactly slow, but basically that. Interesting Christmas look he has going. Little green dots all over him. This guy I have a hard time believing ever beat Barketta, but I suppose he just ran up and like, out DPS'd him or something. Like it said in his intro though, he does a lot of damage, but He has barely any shots. He's only got 38 left, 34. Nah, he's gonna be dead before that anyway. Honestly, the slow ones are the most challenging. Almost like that's how it always goes with run games. And the reason that I went up to here, this is the next guy that's going to get axed. Kind of an interesting setup. I tried to run with him a little while ago. It was interesting, but honestly not much different from the rocket run. Basically what he is 160 rockets, parry blade, and a shield. A lot of shell defense, but nothing for lasers, really. And he likes to leave his back open. And didn't mean to turn that on. Actually, under the PSP controls, like, okay, on the PS2, the blade would be on the circle, or left hand would be on the circle. On this, it's actually down on the D-pad, I think I mentioned before. Now, this is your cannon. All well and good. Don't like that weapon much. I was gonna buy something, wasn't I? Don't remember what it was. Anyway, it's been probably about an hour now, so I'm gonna save it here then. And I guess that's about it.